What time is it? We're going to be late.
It's 7:15. We're on time. Don't panic.
But I thought we had to be at the restaurant by 7:30 for the surprise party. We'll never make it there with all this evening traffic.
Sure we will. Rush hour is almost over. Anyway, the party starts at 8 o'clock.
In this conversation, Tony and Lily, they are talking about time. We are on time. So when are we going to use on time or in time? So on time, whenever we say on time, that means we are talking about the punctuality. According to the schedule, if somebody arrives, then he or she is on time. When we are talking about in time, that is also pertaining to time, but you are not late. You are early enough to make it. Rush hour. Rush hour is the term given to explain the circumstances of traffic. So a time when the traffic is at its heaviest. That is heavy traffic. You can call it as heavy traffic, traffic jam, or simply jam or congestion. Now, how do we know the time? In this conversation, Lily talked about evening traffic. So traffic can be in evening, it can be in the morning time also. So this suggests the time of the day where the traffic is happening. That is the traffic jam or congestion. Because most of the time, morning when people start from home to office and then evening they come back. Now all other conversation or the phrases or the sentences like what time is it? This is way of asking the time. The answer will be it's 7:15. This is a way of stating the time or answering the time, telling the time. Then starts at 8 by 7:30. So whether this is correct, all this conversation is correct, or what do we need to say? How are we going to explain the time, tell the time, ask the time, and use the time in conversation? We are going to discuss this just now because time is very important in everyday conversation of life. So in a time, first thing comes is clock. It can be on your wrist, it can be on your wall. So here we have 12 numbers. These are indicating the hour. So in one day there are 24 hours. That means a clock or your time, it will be repeated twice in one day period. That is 2 o'clock will come twice in a day. This is hour hand, and hour hand just move 1 point, that is 12 to 1, 1 to 2 like this. Now the second hand is minute hand. This minute hand, once the hour hand has moved from one point to another, that is one number to another, the incremental number, the minute hand will complete total circle, that is total 60 minutes. So 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So this 12 to 1 is hour hand, and same time 12 to again 12 is the minute hand. Now along with this there is one more hand which is called as the second hand. So in 1 minute it will move very fast. So in 1 minute it will cover 360 degrees, that is the whole circle in 1 minute, so 60 seconds. So time is shown in the hour, minute and second form. O'clock. So when we say o'clock, there are times when there will be no minutes along with it. We say o'clock only when there is no time. For example, here it is 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock with no minutes or no seconds. Exactly 4 o'clock. So the hour hand will be on some of the number. That is, these are 12 numbers. So it will be on some number. So the formation will be number plus o'clock. You will say the number and then that will be followed by o'clock. For example, 7 o'clock. Now 7 is the number, and since we have no minutes, we call it as 7 o'clock. Again, 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. So 4 is the number, and o'clock is when we have no minutes. So here we always say it's the short form of it is. Rather than saying 7 or 4 in the word, you can also say it in or write it in numbers like 9. So it's up to you what you use. 4 is better. So in every watch there will be only 12 numbers. So you will get every time twice. So how to call 12? There are 4 expressions in English. At 12 you can call it as 12 o'clock because it has no minutes. 12, it can be midday, that is the noon time. So when it is 12 o'clock in the day, you call it as midday or noon. When it is 12 o'clock in the night, then this 12:00 or 1200 hours will be midnight. AM and PM. You will see in literature, book, and in various arena, AM and PM both are used. That is ante-meridiem and post-meridiem. That is midnight to the noon and noon to midnight. So there are 2 partitions of a day. One is called the time followed by AM, then other will be PM. So from 12 in the midnight till 12 in the afternoon, it is being AM. It will be followed by AM. Now 12 afternoon till midnight, it will be PM. Remember. Normally in English, we generally not use the 24-hour clock. We always use the 12-hourly clock. Okay? But still we use this AM for the morning, that is 12 midnight till 12 in the afternoon, and PM for the evening time, that is 12 afternoon till 12 midnight. So this is ante-meridiem and post-meridiem. This is how we use it. Okay, so the time and the AM and PM will be according to your day. For example, 3 AM, if it is in the morning, that is early morning, then we call it as 3 o'clock in the morning. You have to specify, or you can just write 3 AM. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so afternoon time will be PM, post-meridiem. How to tell the time? How do you write the time? How do you speak the time? So there are 2 common ways. First is calling the hour first, followed by the minutes. That is, first we speak or tell or write hour, then the minute. For example, here it is 6, which is an hour, 25 is the minute. So we call it as it's 6:25. 6 is hour, 25 is minute. Now 7:05, we don't call it as just 7:05. We will say it as 7:05. O-H actually. So you will speak O. 7:05, 8:05, 9:10. Okay. 8:15 is 8:15. It's 8:15. So there are 2 common ways. First is hour followed by minute. So 8 is hour, 15 is minute. Similarly, it's 9:30. You can call it as 9. 9 is the hour, 30 is the minute. But this is not a good way to speak. It will always be the way we have been discussing. The second way of actually speaking or calling or writing the time is, first we will use the minutes followed by the hour. But when we say minute, it has to be followed by either past or to. Then we'll speak the hour. What does it mean? See, when we'll use past and to. First is 1 to 30. When it is, the minute is between 1 and 30, we will use past, P-A-S-T. From 1 to 30, that is the right side, you can say right side of the clock. When you are when you have moved to the left side, for minutes between 31 and 59, then we will use 2 after the minutes. Past 1 to 30, 31 to 59 2. For example, 11:20. So 20 is on the right hand side between 1 and 30. So it will be 20, which is our minute. We are talking minute first, and then we'll use past, and then the hour. Hour is 11 here, and 20 is time. So it's 20 past 11. Similarly, because 18 is on the right hand side of the clock, that is 1 to 30. So we'll call it as 18, which is the minute first, and then past 4. 4 is hour in this case. So it is 18 past 4, minute then hour. Now here we have moved to the left side of the clock, 2:35. 2:35. So you will not write it as 2:35. It will be it's 25 to 3. Now you'll ask, why this 25 is coming? It is 35 there. So in 1 hour there are 60 minutes. When we are on the left hand side, we are approaching 3. In this 2:35 is that we are approaching 3 o'clock, right? So what you do is you will take 60, subtract this 35 from this 60. So what do you get? 25. So this 25 is remaining to get to 3. That's why we call it as it's 25 to 3. 25 to 3. Similarly, now you are again on the left hand side of the clock, that is between 31 and 59. 8:51. How does this 51 comes? 60 minus 51 is 9. So now we call it as it's 9 to 9. It is going to be 9 o'clock, 9 to 9. Now in this whole clock, 15 minutes, 30 minutes and 45 minutes. So these 30, 15, 30 and 45 will divide your whole circle into 4 quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these quarters, that is, this whole quarter is, if you combine it, is 360 degree. Every quarter is 90 degree. So every 15 minute is 90 degree, right? So now this 15 minute, whenever we are talking about this 15 minute, we have to use quarter. Quarter. Now if it is on the right hand side, that is from 1 to 30, or you can say 1 to 29 basically, it will be quarter past. Okay, when it is 15 minutes past the hour, we say quarter past. For example, 7:15. 15 is first quarter. So it's a quarter past 7, or simply it is quarter past 7. Quarter means 15. We are talking about one of the quarters of whole circle, whole clock. You can also write it as it is a, you can use, you may not. Now coming to the second quarter, that is, now you have reached 30 minutes. So when it is 15 minutes, on the left hand side, that is, after 30 minutes, you will go to 45 minutes. So when it is 15 minutes before the hour, we call it as quarter to. That is 12:45 will be, it's a quarter to 1. 15 minutes remaining so that we reach 1 o'clock. Okay. So there are 2 quarters, basically 15 minutes and 45 minutes. One more quarter is your 30, but we will call 30 in a different way. When it is 30 minutes past the hour, we call it as, this is your second quarter, right? So we call it as half past. So 15 minutes, first 15 minutes is quarter, then quarter past, 45 is quarter to. When it is 30 minutes, it will be, it's half past 3. You can directly call it's half past 3, but in everyday life you can always say it as 3:30. It's 3:30. The better way is it's half past 3. I hope you got the idea of the quarters. 15, 30, 45. How are we going to ask for the time and answer back the time? That is, giving the time or telling the time. So there are common questions when you are asking for the time which is just now or right now. What are the questions? And the answers will always be responded with it is or its. Its is a short form. So the question for the right now time or just just now time will always be it is. Answer is there. So what will be the question? What time is it? The time can be what time is it? The answer will be it is 5:30. Half past, because it is 5:30. This is your second quarter. 30 minutes. So 5:30. 5 hours and 30 minutes. It is, or you can always write it as it's 5:30. The other way of asking for the time is what is the time or what's the time. What is can also be combined. So what's the time? For example, it is 11:50. We'll call it as it's or it is 10 to 12. It is going to be 12, but 10 minutes are remaining. The more polite way, the more humble way to ask for the time, especially to any stranger, to person which you don't have that acquaintance, you can call it, could you tell me the time please? Or simply, can you tell me the time please? Could is a better word. Could you please tell me the time please? The answer will be same as what discussed just now. It is 5:30 or it's 10 to 12. When you are asking for the time or giving the time, and now the scenario is you're asking question about a specific event. That is, the common question to ask at what time a specific event will happen is what time, when. What time, when. It's all about time when the event is happening. So the answer will always be you're using at plus the time. For example, if the question is, when does the bus arrive from Lisbon? When does the bus arrive from Lisbon? The answer will be the bus arrives at, you're going to use at, then the time, which is midday. Or you can always call it as the bus arrives at 12 o'clock or the bus arrives at midday. For example, the question can be, what time does the flight to India leave? That is, what time or when do the flight to India leave? The answer will be the flight leaves at you'll use, and then the time, quarter to two, or at 1:45. So first thing answering is at with the time. When does the concert begin? When does the concert begin? So the answer will be the concert begins at 10 o'clock. So again, you will use at and then the time, 10 o'clock. Now, we can also use in answering this type of question, what time, when, subject pronouns. So subject pronouns is simply it. You're going to replace, you always say the bus will arrive at. You won't use this. You'll just say it arrives at midday. It leaves at 1:45. It begins at 10 o'clock, because the context is clear. When somebody is talking to you about concert or timing, you will be answering about the concert only. So it will or it begins at 10.